color. The continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Today, Stephen Cord keeps a lonely vigil. His wife, Betty, who left him, has checked out of her suite at the local inn. Stephen knows that Martin Peyton's chauffeur drove Betty to the airport. All the information he needs to conclude that Peyton sent Betty to a Boston law firm. Subject, divorce.
Betty?
Hello, Stephen.
Pardon me. I'll take that.
Now, wait a minute. I was told to see Mrs. Cord up to her room.
Give me the case, Lee. Now get going.
Is there anything you'd like me to tell Mr. Payne?
Tell him I'll call him in about an hour or so.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to see Kennerly?
Stephen, I don't want to discuss it now. I'm very tired.
I'm tired, too. Tired of having to find out what you're doing from everybody else. Now, look, take a ride with me, just for a few minutes.
Not now.
Please.
Stephen, there's nothing to talk about.
How did you say that?
Because I feel it.
What happened with Kennerly?
I told him about the situation. He advised me.
Now, you realize whatever he says Martin Peyton told him to say.
I don't think that's true.
Now, stop being naive. Can't you understand what's happening to us? We're twitching at the end of his string like a couple of puppets. Every gesture, every word.
Stephen, you're not a puppet. You're a man who made a choice. Now, I'm making mine.
Betty, I love you. I've never loved anybody but you. Now, look, come with me just for a few minutes. Doesn't it account for anything that I walked away from her?
You never walked away from her.
I told you nothing happened.
You told me what you wanted me to hear.
What are you talking about?
Now, who's being naive, Stephen?
I don't feel anything for her.
You're lying to me. And you're lying to yourself. Now, give me my bag. I'm going in.
It can't end like this. I won't let it. Betty?
Let go of me, Stephen.
They say it's haunted,
Mr. Peyton?
but I don't believe in ghosts. Do you?
What?
Ghosts. Do you believe in them?
No. I mean, I don't know.
You look as if you'd just seen one.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting anyone.
Neither was I. It's a happy surprise.
Thank you.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I was really just passing. About 10 minutes, I guess.
Just staring through the gate? For 10 minutes?
At least. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I couldn't think up an excuse to go in.
You know, that's rather ironic. When your young husband lived here, he was forever looking for excuses to get out. Why don't we go in together?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Peyton, but...
I'll have Mary fix us up a snack.
No, thank you.
You look as if you could use a good meal.
This is the way I always look. Rod calls me Sparrow.
Because of your size, or because Norman expects you to subsist on bird seed?
Oh, Norm's doing great.
You know, that's a word that is grievously overworked by your generation. Wrestling crates on a loading dock hardly qualifies a man for greatness.
But it doesn't make you a bum, either.
Well, let's go in. You know, there's nothing like a long walk to work up a great appetite. What's the matter?
I always feel like Alice in Wonderland when I walk through that gate.
Well, what does that make me? The White Rabbit or the Mad Hatter? You still haven't told me what prompted this visit.
I don't know exactly. I went by the mill with my father, and we saw your limousine. I sat in it. Oh, I love the smell. It was all leathery and woody. And I just felt like coming over here.
Your father?
Yes, he's been back for about a week now. His name's Eddie Jacks. Have you ever met him?
No, I've never had that pleasure.
No, I guess you wouldn't. But he grew up here, too. He opened the tavern, and I guess it wasn't enough for him. You know, some men just need more than others or something. He didn't want to stay in one place and one job or raise a family.
Where did he go when he left here?
Oh, all over. Florida, California, New York.
Well, what is his business?
Well, right now he's working at the tavern again nights, but I guess he's done just about every kind of work there is.
Sounds like a fascinating man.
Oh, he is. He's got millions of stories and jokes, and he always seems so happy.
The happy vagabond. Tell me, when you went over the mill, when you pointed out to him that evil, smoky plant was the property of your husband's old grandfather, what did he say? There's something about, I'd rather be happy than rich?
No. In fact, it was his idea to go there.
Oh, then he doesn't hold it against you that you married into a stodgy, reserved New England family.
Sir, I didn't marry a family. I married Norm.
Oh.
I really think I better go.
Well, what about that snack?
May I take a rain check?
You don't need one, Rita. That door is always open to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Weber? Do you know a man named Eddie Jacks?
I know who he is.
I want to know what he is. I remember what he was.
Come in.
Dr. Rossi?
Yes, Mr. Jacks.
Yeah, thanks for seeing me. I know how busy you are. But I guess I'm a little nervous being in the dark about Rita.
Yes, well, sit down, please.
Thank you. Yeah, it sure was a jolt, finding out about her critical condition.
Well, her condition isn't critical, although it is very serious.
I guess that means something to a doctor. But one word is just as bad as the other to a father.
And well, what it means is that we have her condition under control now.
But it could flare up again at any time.
Yes, that's right.
I had no idea that she had anything like this.
Well, didn't Ada tell you about it?
Yeah, when I first got back. But I thought, well, you know, after all those years, I thought it was just some kind of a stall. Something that Ada had cooked up to keep me from going to see Rita.
Well, will you be staying in town?
Well, I thought a lot about that, Doctor. At first, I thought I wouldn't. I just wanted to see how my Rita had turned out. But then I heard about her heart. And I decided running out before was one thing. But now, I just couldn't leave her.
Oh.
There's one thing I wanted to ask you. She is on some kind of medication, isn't she?
Yes, digitalis.
And I don't imagine that that comes cheap.
No, it isn't.
And your fees and all. Can she afford it?
Well, that's all taken care of.
Well, not charity, I hope.
She's married to a very responsible young man.
Yeah, I figured he should be pretty well set. But I saw him working on the dock.
Look, Mr. Jacks, if you want to discuss Norman Harrington's financial situation, I suggest you take that up with him.
Oh. Sure. Well, all I meant was that now that I've got a job, anything extra that I make could go here, if it would help.
Well, that's very generous of you.
Well, let you get back to work. Thanks for your time. I'll sleep a little better tonight.
Well, Mr. Jacks, would you like to know a little bit more about her illness?
Well, all I gotta know is that she's in good hands.
Well, the medical term for it is mitral stenosis.
As long as you can treat it.
Well, the mitral valve is between the left atrium of the heart and the left ventricle. Now, if anything happens to this valve, if it becomes clogged in any way, then the normal blood flow is affected, and the blood can't find its way back into the heart.
I'll take your word for it.
The accumulation of scar tissue has brought on her condition. She's already experienced fainting spells, palpitation of the heart, shortness of breath. The danger signs that we have to watch out for now are such things as acute anxiety, hyper-irritability, heavy perspiration, coughing.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Well, if any of these signs appear, it's important that we diagnose it immediately and treat her immediately.
But there must be some kind of an operation that...
Yes, there is. Well, it's called a closed mitral valvulotomy.
Will you do me a favor, Doctor? Start talking English.
All right, I will, Mr. Jacks. What is it you really want?
I just want to know that my daughter's got a future.
Are you worried about your daughter's future or about your own?
I don't know much about you, Rossi, except that you're my kid's doctor. But it sounds like somebody has said something about me to you.
What bothers me is what you didn't say.
Look, just to get by your security guard out there is like storming Fort Knox. Nobody told me that I had to come up with some sort of secret password on the inside.
The password is concern.
I'm concerned.
No, you're not. If you were concerned, the only thing on your mind when you came through the door is whether or not this was the right time to come back into your daughter's life, or whether you should wait until she's well.
Mm-hmm. Ada got to you, huh?
Yeah, she got to me. Sure, she came in here and sat in my office and asked me if there was any way, any legal way, to keep you from coming back into your daughter's life. I said to her, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. After all, give this man a break. He is her father. It's funny now. I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
That license there on the wall, a license to practice medicine? Practicing medicine in this state takes in an awful lot of territory, doesn't it?